Welcome to Planet Ayurveda's another session live on one interesting subject today to talk about. And the subject is which we all every day, every moment try to follow with our best effort to live healthy or achieve our well-being. And for that we adopt various methods. We try to do various effort to achieve that wellness. And this exercise, this process has become much more important in this hard time, this difficult time in which the whole world is going through at the moment. And everyone in their pursuit to keep themselves on top of their well-being, trying to make various efforts. And in those efforts, there will be various ways, such as some might be trying to take and load themselves with multivitamins of various kind. Many of us will follow various diets for whatever one or the other reason. Some will be very keen to just get into mode of exercise more and more, with the fitness aspect being important for them in pursuit of their well-being. And in that process they might be doing extensive exercise, running 4-5 kilometer every day, or going to gym on a daily basis, even in this lockdown situations. Or someone might be keen to just drink 3-4 liter of water to let their toxins get expelled from their system. Now when we talk about all these various aspects, we all need to remember one thing, that those who try to do all these efforts, we must acknowledge them. We must appreciate that at least they are making an effort for their well-being. But the key factor, key element which all of us never or sometime overlook, to evaluate them, to assess them, that whatever effort I am making for my well-being, is it giving me desired result? And sometimes some of us even want to do that, but they don't know how to evaluate those aspects. But if we go a little bit closer to those issues, you will find that it is not that difficult on your own to evaluate and find out that whatever I am doing, is it really doing any good to me, or is just a waste of my time? Now, for example, if we start with the first thing, that need of taking multivitamins. Now, many of us, sometime when they will feel fatigued, tired, or they will feel that my absorption of the nutrient is not happening, my sleep is not good, or I am going through a lot of stress, so I start taking these multivitamins. magnesium, zinc, multivitamins, B12, executive stress formulations, and so on. But those who take this, all multivitamins, I will ask them one question. Do you feel that these multivitamins, for whatever reason you have started taking, has given you desired result? If your answer is yes, then have you ever tried to stop them and see where your well-being is? And if you feel after giving up those supplement I go backward, it is an answer to yourself in a natural way that whatever you are doing, whatever you are taking is really not doing any good to you. And same is with these multivitamins when you are trying to use it. First question we need to ask, why the need of these multivitamins or various supplement has come to me? One answer is very clear. When you are eating your food and eating in a balanced meal, it means your body should be able to get its need fulfilled by your food, what you have eaten. And if you are very much confident that my food is balanced food, and some of us in that pursuit even will make an effort to eat organic food and try to eat very carefully selecting right food, then they need to ask that when I am eating all these right food and still requiring these multivitamins because I am feeling fatigued, tired, my sleep is not, my B12 is going low or other issues, or I am lacking in magnesium and zinc and calcium, and that is where you will find our Ayurvedic principles give us very clear answer that when you are eating in a balanced meal and still lacking in these essential component, it means the core cause of your problem is your gut. Core problem is your metabolism. Whatever you are eating is not getting metabolized properly, and the food what you are eating is not giving you all the required nutrient because your digestion is not in optimum state. It is producing more toxins in simple language or free radical substances and less nutrient. So in that process, in that effort, if we are eating those multivitamins or various kind of executive stress and other kind of formulations, this clearly show you that all what you are taking is being getting excreted through your waste in the form of your urine rather than giving you that value. In the same way, if someone is taking an executive stress buster formula, do you think that stress buster formula is going to work for us? If yes, I must be out of my stress altogether. But does stress come due to not having that vitamins in my system? Until or unless I have looked at what is causing my stress, what are the core cause of that stress, and try to work on them, my stress will keep building. So it means those capsules, those tablets, what I'm taking, I have to keep taking them all my life or have to keep increasing my dosages. That is one issue we sometimes overlook selecting various methods of our well-being. In the same way, many of us will try to pick up various diet for our well-being. In that process nowadays, the major issue of the diet has come up that what we call as FODMAP is a new sort of wave. Then plant-based diet has become a big sort of wave nowadays. Then some will find or follow from so many years high protein diet, low carb diet, or those aspects. But even again, having these kind of food or diet planning, has that given me that optimum well-being? And if the answer is no, then we must sit and look at why that is so. Again, answer is very simple. First of all, we all can now accept very easily, because it's becoming now quite a known factor, that each individual has a unique body makeup. Even though we might look like the same with the 2 eyes and 2 nostrils and 2 ears, but each individual's body makeup is totally unique at your deeper RNA level and DNA level and chromosome levels. And that composition is known as your body type. And now, if you are selecting such item or such diet planning, which might be good for one person but might not be good for you, so just for the sake of keep taking something and not evaluating only can bring you more and more complications. And evaluation has to be done by you only. And when I need to evaluate, give a good go to any effort for at least 3 months. If in 3 months you have seen that outcome is perfect, you must keep following that. But that is where you will see problems comes up with many of us when we try to follow such restrictive diet. You get the outcome in the first 2 months or so, and when you're trying to get a relax a little bit, because those diets you always know you cannot carry on your as a regular meal throughout your life, and the moment you come back to your normal eating pattern, for whatever reason you have adopted that diet, you will see the outcome will be totally gone. If someone has taken in a diet to lose weight and they might have lost 4 or 5 kg through that process, the moment they come back to their normal eating pattern, they put on 10 kg weight. And even when they were losing that 4 or 5 kg weight, they were feeling quite fatigued, tired, their sleep was getting in trouble, they are feeling a little bit irritable. So these are the indicators which can give you that what you are doing is really not working for me or not doing much good to me. And in that process. You are not alone. Most of the time this happens to majority of the people who follow such aspect in relation to the diet part. And then many of us in our well-being effort will get into just eating raw, which is again a very, very big following, to eat raw food only. Raw vegetable at a breakfast, lunch and dinner predominantly, and which is perfectly fine. No harm in eating raw. But those who are eating raw, they need to look at, okay, you have eaten raw because you want to get all the nutrient out of your greens to the optimum. It means you should be feeling optimum at a physical level, mental level, emotional level. And if you evaluate in that parameter and try to see that can you get all the ticks at a mental level, are you free from your all the anxieties, worries? Are you free from that your sleep is wonderful? On a physical parameter, do you think your eliminations are perfect? Your bowel motion is good? You don't have any issues with your gut, gurgling, gas, indigestion? But when you start evaluating that, you will find that I am eating optimum raw food. I still get constipated. I still have a lot of gas all the time, which I feel a bit embarrassed in the company of my friends, and so all the time I have a gurgling. My tummy get bloated time to time. My sleep is totally gone. My hand and feet are cold. So what it has given you? And then without evaluating, if I keep doing, where I will end up? More trouble, more issues. But question comes up, how I evaluate? Again the same thing is, answer is very simple. We need to first of all understand, when I eat raw, what is my objective? To eat raw so that I can get best nutrient out of it. But in that process we forget that whatever I am eating will only give me optimum nutrient when it will get metabolized in my body, in my system. Because whatever you are eating has to be cooked to make it more homologous for your bodily system. Homologous means more compatible to your bodily system, bodily tissues, bodily cells. And that process is done in your gut. First stage of digestion is in your stomach. Second stage of digestion happen in the small intestine. And that will be the outcome, how that digestion process has gone. And now, if someone's digestive process is compromised, then what will happen? That raw food, salads, or predominantly that raw food what I have eaten, or even they are organic, they will require now optimum metabolic power. And what is metabolic power? Metabolic power is your digestive fire in simple language. What is this digestive fire made of? It is made of hydrochloric acid and certain enzymes which get secreted at a different levels. So first stage of digestion is in your stomach. And now when you have eaten your balanced salad with full focus, full concentration, mindful eating, now if your hydrochloric acid and enzymes are not strong enough, what will happen? That uncooked food, what you have eaten in the form of raw food, will not metabolize, because to break down that uncooked food you need more stronger secretions of hydrochloric acid and enzyme. And when that is not happening, what will happen? The first stage of digestion, which get completed in the stomach, does not get completed into the optimum stage, and when it goes to the second stage of digestion, it will not further be acted by various enzymes there. So anyway, outcome will be more toxin, less nutrient, and when less nutrient are there, you can easily see that what it will do. It will make you feel fatigued, tired, spacey, which is your disturbed sleep, and your hand and feet will get cold because of your circulation get affected. You will have a lot of bloating because of the dryness, roughness. That's what it will lead you, not able to pass your bowel motion. So these are the indicators. Anyone, if they are picking up raw food diet, they need to assess, and that again, you don't need to wait for months and months to assess it. You can easily assess in within first 6 weeks or 8 weeks that if it is doing good to me, I should be wonderful. In the same way, many of us will get into nowadays fermented food. Now fermented food has also come up as a huge part nowadays, and people are all the time into those fermented food, whether it is kombucha or whether it is miso soup or whether it is dominant cheese or other kind of sour crust or all that part. Now one need to know again, if that fermented food is really doing good to me, I should be in a perfect state. But after eating that regular fermented food, you will find, and if you are trying to evaluate your effort towards well-being, that I am feeling a little bit burp in my daily routines, a little bit burning coming up, my stools are now getting a bit more loose now, and again I always feel quite thirsty in the mouth. So if fermented food was giving me that optimum well-being, I should not have these symptoms at all. And if they are coming up, somehow, somewhere, something is not working for me. And again, the issue is that when you are dominantly eating fermented food, what you are doing is you are impacting your, again, those secretions of hydrochloric acid and enzymes which are more in an alkaline nature. That balance is get disturbed, and when that balance get disturbed, it means the food what you have eaten will not be metabolized properly. Simple scenario, simple issue will come up. Outcome will be you will have more toxin, less nutrient, and less nutrient means will be resulting into all these kind of health issues. So again and again, point is coming up, we must evaluate every effort whatever we put towards our well-being. Then in the same way, you can look at, many of us will feel that drinking 3 liter or 4 liter of water is very much required, and I should be doing that on a regular basis, and people does that all the time. And those who does that, they should be again after 6 weeks or so must sit and think that how my well-being is going. But if they feel, which is obviously most of the time the case, if they are feeling again quite fatigued, tired, spacey, their lower back, their upper shoulders are always a bit painful and stiff, they need to ask themselves what is going on. But if you don't ask yourself, what you will do, you will again go back into the same thing. It means I might be needing some kind of multivitamins, or I need this supplement to give my strength. If my back is getting hurt, I might go to one practitioner to get my back fixed. If I am feeling quite fatigued and tired, I can take this ginkgo and other kind of supplement. If my sleep is in trouble, I might take a natural sleeping product which will make me having a good sleep. If I'm getting a bit upset or my mood swings are getting, I can take this hormonal pills which will bring up, but they are natural, so they should be all good. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to substitute my well-being with the help of a 1, 2, 3 sort of a product. When the products or supplement are natural, does not mean that they are all in the right frame or you should keep doing that, unless you have not looked into the root cause of the problem. These will keep increasing, and at the end what will happen? You will be relying on these supplement more than your food, because you are eating that many supplement all the time that you will not have the appetite to have your breakfast, lunch and dinner anyway. So question get asked, okay, what is wrong in that? When I'm drinking 3 liter water, I'm drinking because I'm all the time thirsty. My lips are all the time thirsty. So again, if we evaluate in a right way, you will find what I'm doing actually is inviting all that problem. So what that issue is, just see now, when you drink anything, simple plain water, or many of us will be drinking more carbonated water. Now where the water goes? Water comes to your stomach. Now what is the role of the stomach? Stomach is your first platform where whatever you have taken in, either in the form of the food, either in the form of the liquid, that need to be metabolized. And now look at the other part. What component is doing the metabolic process in our system is hydrochloric acid and enzymes, which you can correlate very simple language, fire. Now if you understand that these are fire, which are known in Ayurveda as our Agni, now look at a little bit outside. In your house you always want to do some cooking. So when you're trying to do cooking, what you use? You use fire on your stove. But just presume if that fire goes out of hand, what comes in your mind to put that fire off as a first thing before your fire brigade come? Simple water. That's what you will be looking at. Same thing happen in our system, in our body. When I'm drinking, what I'm doing is I'm putting my fire off. Fire off means I'm diluting my hydrochloric acid and enzyme, the key component to do the digestion process. And when I have diluted them, it means I have compromised my digestion, I have compromised my metabolism, and when my metabolic process get affected, what will happen? Same thing will happen. Whatever you have eaten now will not metabolize properly, and that will give you less nutrient and more toxin. Now those nutrients, what for they are? They are to nourish my existing 7 tissues. In our body we have 7 tissues at different level which keep us going, this machine. Now when those tissues not getting proper nourishment in the form of that nutrient which are coming up, because they are not sufficient to nourish all the 7 tissues, so what will happen? They will be hungry. And when someone is hungry, what they do? They naturally ask for more food. And when they ask for more food in our body, our 7 tissues, where they have to knock asking for the food, that message naturally come into your mouth, and your mouth will become dry. And now your bodily intelligence is giving you a message that my tissues require more nourishment, give me good food please, but my crooked intelligence think that I am dry in my mouth, I need more water. So I keep drinking more water. And then when I am drinking more water, under the influence of my so-called crooked intelligence, what will happen? Our system, our bodily system, which we call as our bodily intelligence, still come to our rescue, because in our bodily intelligence there isn't a one system which keep the water metabolism or water balance intact, that how much this individual require that water. And now if I have put extra water, that system will get into action more, and that system is governed by our two kidneys. So kidneys will start functioning more extra, overwork, so that they can flush extra water from the system. And that is the reason that the person who is drinking so much water, they will be going to toilet all the time, even at night time. And now another thing we need to review, those kidneys directly relate with my adrenal glands. Now adrenal gland, we all know, they naturally relate with my immune system. So when you will have adrenal fatigue, and that's where the adrenal fatigue syndrome will start happening. Again your system gets shut, your mental state will start getting a bit more erratic. So what is the outcome? On a one hand, I was thinking that I am drinking 3 liters of water, it means I should be optimum, but I am not. And that is what the whole process of evaluating your effort is very crucial. And you don't need to go to anyone to evaluate, you can see these symptoms. Whenever, whatever you have picked up, if you sit and not blindly keep following those, you will be in a better position to assess that yes, whatever I am doing is not really doing any good to me. And there is no harm in accepting that and trying to make the changes. And that is what we always have talked about, that now time has come that we all should help each other. Whatever we can share, if someone has come to know that yes, drinking water too much is really not good, they should help to share that message with the others. Those who have understood that yes, eating this raw salad is really not doing any good to the well-being, rather than keeping it to yourself, share it with the others, whoever can listen. I know that you might say, okay, people don't want to listen, but make it a part of your life, make it a part of your dharma, your social obligation. Try to share with them. We don't want to impose ourselves, but what I'm sharing is I hope all of you will have such groups which are keen to discuss about wellness, want to discuss, and that is where you can share your experiences, you can share these things. So if you able to get this message with whatever reason, with whatever effort, try to share that messages with other. And that's what, as I shared one last time, that this is where we are developing a wellness chain community, where our focus will be that whatever the knowledge, whatever the awareness about well-being at every level we have, our goal should be how we can help other, how we can support other. And it should not be something that I always have to look at what reward I will get out of it. No way. Rewards are not something that always are essential in life. What is essential is if you are able to help someone, even 10 people in your life, and you have made them to improve their well-being, that will be a biggest reward. So that's the way we all need to work together. And then some other issues, as you can see, there are people who will be very much again into exercise. Without exercise, they don't think that life can be there. and they will go for extensive exercise. Either they go for running every week, 3 4 they will run, or they will go and try to fight with the machines in the gym. And then again, doing these all things are good, but when you have finished those exercise, do you feel optimum? Do you feel that the exercise what you have done is really giving you what for you are doing that exercise? But if the answer to yourself is really no, in fact that is making me again fatigued and tired later on, it means something is not good. And that is what these exercise does. Because when we just do the exercise within a one objective, to be fit, fitness does not mean six abs or your muscles or like that. Fitness is how that fitness at a physical mental level is keeping you optimum. And for that you don't need to run 3 4K all the time. You need to look at again what is your body makeup, what kind of exercise will be good for you. If you are all the time working in the air conditioned room, it means in a good walk is might be an optimum for you. And that is where this evaluation process help us to know what is required for myself. These issues are very simple. There are so many other efforts we do for our well-being, but without evaluating we keep going into that vicious cycle of keep doing these things day night, and one stage come up, we end up with more issues. And when we end up with those more issues, that is where you will find they are irreversible. We get into this autoimmune disorders. We have totally burnt our system to that extent that it is now impacting my vital organs. And to avoid those stages, you all must make an effort. Do anything without hesitation. Adopt whatever you feel good to yourself, but must evaluate it. Must make an effort that my well-being journey need to be evaluated by myself on a regular basis. This will help us to have that healthy society. This will help us to again create a stage also for you even, that before you end up with more trouble, you will be in a better position to look after yourself in a much more better. And that's what Ayurveda talk about to us. Ayurveda gives us that opportunity to understand that well-being is not something is too difficult to achieve. But again, well-being is not just that you look very fit all the time. Looking fit is not a bad issue. You must look at, there is no point of being overweight or all the time and then having any trouble. But fitness means physically, mentally, emotionally, you should be in a very balanced state. And that balance is the key for our life at every level. If this fitness is making you to get angry, frustrated, anxious, nervous, and you have to be on an antidepressant pill, what is the benefit of that? And that's what Ayurveda talk about, that you must follow certain routines in your life, and those routines are part and parcel of your daily life as your daily regimes. There are specific regimes for season wise, for constitution, and as well as in a natural way of eliminating toxins from your system. Eat according to your body type, eat according to the season, eat according to the age group in which you are, eat according to your state of mind, that what kind of food will keep you in more balanced state at a mental level. That is what one need to look at. And don't just only look at the physical well-being. Well-being is all about physical, mental and emotional. And this become much more nowadays, especially in the period, in the time where we are going through a lot of uncertainties. This issue of this COVID-19, which has disturbed the whole balance in the whole world, in fact, those who have not yet has suffered from it or have not been attacked by that and they are fortunate, if you ask them, they actually living under a lot of fear, and that uncertainty, that anxiety of getting attacked by that virus is actually making them more sick than any benefit. Yes, they have not come up with a COVID positive, that is a one positive thing, but it does not mean that they are in a much more better situation. They actually ending up into doing one or the other thing with that hype, that how I can prevent it. Prevention of that COVID-19 is again same thing what we talk about, that if you know how this virus can be prevented going into your system, and those regimes you must follow, and if you can follow those regimes, you will be in a better position. Even you might have an environment where you might come across with some of those people who got infected, or unless they get tested, you will not know that they are positive or not positive. We are fortunate that we are in a country like New Zealand or Australia. In Australia, yes, there is one part which is Melbourne has a bit more now issue, but we still very fortunate that we have not come across with so many cases. But look at countries like USA, UK, Italy, which has gone through that, and Europe is again coming back into that part, and look at in India also, where this issue has been so much, has become a normal part of the life now, and people are getting affected with that. So our focus should be that how we can prevent it, how we can understand to live with this sort of situation. As I shared before, that this COVID like situations will keep coming in our life time to time, and reason of saying is, till the day people will be keep making mistake in their life. This is what Ayurveda talk about, mistake of intellect. Mistake of intellect has led us to this situation, abusing our environment, abusing the surrounding, and then being slave of just the one factor of our lip, our tongue, and we eat anything for the sake of taste, and then building our problems. Until or unless that aspect is not looked at a bigger level, things will not change. And that is the reason that we don't need to depend upon the governments of those countries or whatever. We must, as a collective awareness, should develop at an even smaller level, and that is what I have shared before, and sharing together, come together, that those who are fortunate to have some awareness because you are following Ayurvedic